Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be servicing this air compressor. This is a Stanley air compressor that I got from Super Cheap Auto in 2013, so it's really old, 8 years old now. It's still been giving me really good life. The only thing I've really had to replace on it was this right here, this regulator. The regulator started to leak and I had to replace that, but besides that it's been perfect. So today we're going to be changing the oil in the motor part of it. We're going to be checking the air filter, and we're going to be checking this belt, the V belt. All your maintenance instructions are right here on the belt drive. After 50 hours it tells you what to do. You can pause that if you want to read it yourself if you don't have that sticker. But for starters, we're going to try and change this oil. I'm going to take, this is the least way to not get messy, because if you just pull this plug right here, because this is a 5mm Allen, if you just unbolt that there, the oil just leaks all over the top here, all down there, and it's a big cleanup problem. So what I try to do is pull it forward, take my block of wood, get it as sturdy as I can, and then take a milk carton, cut the top out of it, put that underneath, and then I'll unbolt that bolt.
It's like you're milking an actual cow.
This compressor part doesn't hold very much oil. It's only about 400 mil. So again, you can see even with that laying on its side there, it still drips all over this. But that's still the best way to drain it. Now you're going to let that sit until it stops dripping. Drain as much as you can, but while you're doing that, you can take the air compressor up here, the air filter assembly, and it's 5mm again, and you can undo this as well. These bolts aren't very tight. The housing is plastic, although it screws into the aluminum head. Nice bird sounds. Once you get the bolts out, you're going to take this plastic piece here, split it there, put that down there, and then this is a foam air filter. If you've ever ridden dirt bikes, same kind of principle. It's just a foam air filter, but with these air compressors you won't be oiling this unless you're in a really dusty area. So I'd be washing this out with soap and water, because it's not oily, it's just dry, but it's not dirty right now either. So check it first. If it's not dirty, you're just going to put it back in. To put it back in, there's two holes right there. They line up with the air filter. Put that right there. And again, two holes with the bolts. Put that in, and then this clicks together. And then you're just going to bolt that back onto the head. These don't require a lot of torque. You don't want to distort this plastic housing. That's good. And that's good. That's tight. So that's still dripping down there. You can see the oil still dripping out of there. Now we're going to take a look through here. You can see this belt right here, and that belt's still got tension on it. It's still tight. It's nice and smooth on both surfaces. So that belt's still within specs. You don't have to do anything more with that belt. So now this is dripping, just like 1 tube drips at a time. You're going to put that bolt back into the engine, the motor, the compressor part. You take your drain bolts and you put a new washer on it, sealing washer, and then you're going to put that back in the bottom of the compressor. If I can do that. There we go. And just tighten it up finger tight for now, and then you're going to take this block out, take your towels, wipe down as much as you can, and then tighten it up. Again, it doesn't have to be very tight, probably 8 foot-pounds would be enough. That's as tight as I'm going to tighten it. Now you take your 19mm wrench and you come up here and you undo the oil fill, which is also a breather tube. You don't have to do it much with the wrench. This is plastic, so don't over tighten this. And this is just a breather, so it breathes the air so you can get air in here. You can put that on top. Then I'm using compressor oil. You can use any brand. This is just a brand that I bought from Super Cheap Auto. I'm not sponsored by these guys. And you're going to fill up this until the oil level gets above or gets to this red dot in the center of this window right here. It's not going to take very much. Probably only about 400 mil. Looking at that. That's how much oil came out. If it doesn't have a top on it like this, you're going to need a funnel that'll go in there. See that? Okay, so there's the oil level now, and every time you move it you'll see it come up above the red line, so you know you're right at the red line now. So you'll take your back in, make sure this O-ring is on there. If this O-ring's damaged in any way, replace the O-ring. And again, be careful with this because you can cross-thread plastic pretty easily. So make sure you can tighten it up with your fingers first. Get it all the way to the bottom, and take your wrench. And that should be enough. You don't want to over-tighten that at all. Take your rag, wipe down as much oil as you can, and then you're good for another 50 hours of use. So remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. If you've got one of these compressors, let me know if you service it at all. Like the first 3 or 4 years I never serviced this thing, and it still runs perfect right now.